Growing up in Ghana, I saw my grandparents and their friends thrive on traditional African diets. So they age gracefully without the need for many medications. Now, in this day and age, we're seeing more and more diets filled with processed foods. This has directly led to an uptick of conditions such as diabetes and hypertension. We're also seeing a lot of our elderly patients being on multiple medications. So, what sets a traditional African diet apart from some of our modern diets that we're eating at the moment? What are the key lessons that we can learn the journey of a traditional African meal from nature to the plate? And lastly, how do cooking methods in this traditional African diet contribute to the overall health of the meal? It's Dr. Derek here. I'm really excited to share a piece of my culture with you today. My grandparents used to eat a traditional plant-based diet. So this is a diet that was filled with small grains such as guinea corn, millet, and fonio. Then there were the fruits that they ate such as papaya and guava. Legumes and tubers such as cassava and yam featured regularly in their diets. Now, these have a very high fiber content, and this high fiber content has several health benefits such as protection against bowel cancer, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and several more. Now today, a lot of foods have been processed to the point that the fiber has been stripped away. This means that a lot of the foods have lost the health benefits that I mentioned before. Of course, my grandparents would have also consumed animal products such as beef, chicken, and fish. But the key point to make here is that these animal products were consumed in smaller portions than what we've seen today. And also they were really reserved for special occasions because of how expensive they were at that time. Also remember that the meat or poultry that was consumed was organically grown and the animals were left to roam freely. So organic meat contains around 50% more beneficial omega-3 fatty acids. They also contain lower concentration of saturated fats, and overall they're just nutritionally better than non-organic meats. Now, wish me luck. I've got my ladder here. Now later on I'm gonna try and climb to the top of that tree and get some of those coconuts. Let's see how I get on. So as you can see, in the process of getting food from nature to the plate, there's a lot of physical activity involved, whether this involved climbing to reach your food, and also walking several distance for things like water, spending long hours planting, weeding, clearing grass, and harvesting crops. So that whole process took a lot of energy and in itself was a form of cardiovascular exercise. Another example is a favorite food of us Ghanaians known as fufu, which is commonly made by pounding cassava and yam. In just creating this meal in itself, a lot of energy is being expended to do so. Natural and organic methods of farming were used a lot during those days, so the food had a lot less chemicals within it. Also, the minimally processed foods that my grandparents ate had significantly lower sodium content than what we see today. So my grandparents would have relied on natural flavorings such as herbs and local spices. So the one I've got in this video here is one known as prekese. And as well as being quite a strong flavor enhancer, prekese in itself has several health benefits as these natural herbs contain minerals within them. The fact that salt was used so sparingly during those days meant that there was an overall reduced risk of a raised blood pressure. So how does the way in which a traditional African diet was cooked impact on overall health? Well, my grandparents back in those days used healthier forms of cooking, and these forms of cooking preserve the natural minerals and flavors of the foods themselves. So for example, foods were wrapped in leaves and steamed. Also, meats were grilled. Plantain and yams and other provisions were boiled. Can compare that to today, where a lot of foods are deep fried. These deep fried oils lead to so many health conditions, including elevating your cholesterol, meaning in the long term, you probably need some medication to bring things back down. So despite the change of times, I think it's crucial that we look back and appreciate the positive aspects of our culture. I'm glad that I could share my Ghanaian culture with you today. So understanding the impact of what we eat on our health and how it links to conditions such as kidney disease and also cancers is so important, That's why I've created these videos for you on my channel. Make sure that you check them out. As always, if you've enjoyed today's video, please leave a like and subscribe. And don't forget, I truly care about your health and I wish you the very best.